Good morning everyone and welcome back. I've just come over, I've shifted these cows. I'm going to have a little bit of a draft up this morning because I've got 38 cows going down to Mike's just down the road for a bit of grazing down there. The truck's coming at 11. I actually held a Smash field day yesterday, and Smash stands for Smaller Milk and Supply Herds, and it was a great turnout. There were heaps of people there. I filmed some of it, which you should be seeing now. Well, we've kicked things off. Steve's facilitating it today. Steve Canton, he used to take our discussion groups a few years ago, and then we've had a couple of people since then. But as you can see from behind me, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people here. There's probably, I don't know, maybe 100, 90. I am, you're on camera. And I've just gone through and I was checking the footage, and it turns out that the microphone wasn't working. One of the connections wasn't pushed in properly or something like that. So all that footage that I've taken has been wiped, but it was awesome. It was a good day out. Had I think it was about 110 people come to that, and it was pretty cool to meet some of you that watch my videos as well. There are a few topics that we sort of talked about, but weeds were one of them. So New Farm, they're a chemical company. They were here. They talked a little bit about it, answered a few questions. I went through my system and just explained to people what I do here, and then we went and had a look at some of the riparian planting, which was quite cool because Pip was planting around the duck pond yesterday and it's looking really good, so I'll go and show you guys that later on. These girls have only got one more break over there, and that is this afternoon, so they'll go in there for the night and then they're done. They've been on this annual for sort of the last, not quite a week, but they were there yesterday, and then they were in the other paddock for 4 days. I'm so peeved and annoyed that footage doesn't have any sound. It's almost just a waste of time, but hopefully it looks alright when I sort of add it into this and talking in the back. Dad's just shifted the heifers, which are in here, and that's also annual, so that's the first grazing. They've actually done quite a good job on it. They did do a little bit of walking up the fence line yesterday, although they had heaps. I've given them 2 breaks. They've got about another day. They're going to come out of there tomorrow, and that's pretty much all the annual grazed off. So it's right next to these cows. I also talked a little about the YouTube side of thing as well. People were interested in that, I think. But when I was riding up that race this morning, I noticed on the roadside there was a white looking thing that's not normally there, and I'm going to assume that it is probably someone's rubbish. I know you guys in the UK call it fly tipping, and we occasionally get it, but I'm going to assume it's that, so I'll have a look once I drive down. But it might be a ring for the council, that one. All the girls are in here. I'm going to have a quick draft up, wait for Dad to come back. Oh, he's actually gone down. I think he's going down to have a look. It's just through there. What I'm going to do though is I'm just going to go through, pull all the lighter looking cows out. I only need 38, but I'm going to draft hopefully sort of 50 into this pen. Then I'm going to go back through them and sort of take like the top of them off, so I'm only left with 38, but it's always easier to take some out rather than to chuck more in. Someone dumped their rubbish?
Yeah, I don't know if we should pick it up or I'll ring the council up.
It'd be good if the council came and did it. They can have a look through it.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's some letters or something.
Yep, they're pretty dumb, those people. Normally they pick the rubbish out like that.
Yeah.
No brains.
Yeah, it's not real hard to go and whack it in a bin, eh? It's just somebody else's job. I also took that cow out there. I drafted her out yesterday. I'm treating her. She had mastitis in one of her back right quarters, or her back right quarter. She doesn't have 2 back right quarters, but it's not too bad. It's the only cow so far that I've picked up which has mastitis, which is pretty good considering it was raining when we dried off. On a bit of good news though, someone rang up yesterday from, where was it? I'm not sure what outfit. Is it Osprey?
Yeah, someone like that down in Wellington.
About the TB reactor that we had, and the blood results have come back as being negative. Or did they say it was avian?
No, I never asked him actually. He didn't say, but he's given me a form to sign and send back to say that we'll cut the tag out.
Oh, okay. Alright, so we go ahead and cut it out now then?
Yep.
Yeah, sweet, so easy as. No TB, cleared. Not that we had it in the first place though. I'm really just looking as they walk up and seeing sort of how rounded their hips are. Like she can go, see she's good condition. She's not bad, she's pretty good. That one there, she can get drafted out. Actually the next 2, Dad's on the gate. Come on, Gil. That one. You take her too, the next one. Then the next 3 can go straight, 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 straight. Some people sort of go through and condition score their cows when they dry off, so they know where the herd's at and where they need to get them to, how much feed they need to put in. This is sort of my rough way of doing it. I think all these 3 look pretty good. All their backs are pretty flat, so I'll take all 3 of those. They can go straight. I'll draft the next 2 out. They're 2 younger cows. That one back there, she's good, Nick. 3 straight. Then take the next 2. Come on. Yeah, and then the next one can go straight. Then take the one after that. The next one can go straight. She wanted to go, she can go straight. There's my group, so now we're just gonna have a quick count them and draft the ones that can go, that can go back to make my 38. 2, 4, 6, 8. I've just put them up in the bales now, or back through the shed. I'm just going through and turning the collar off, because while they're going off farm, there's no point really having them running, because then they'll just look for the gateway the whole time and sort of waste battery. And if they're going for 5 or 6 weeks, then I think it's worth it. And it's pretty easy. All I do is just, there's the little magnet bit there. This one's actually upside down, so I'll have to change that when they come back. Just hold it, takes a while. There we go, one flash, it's off.
Who put that upside down?
You probably. They're all good. They can make their way down to the feed pad now. I've fed out a little bit of maize and PK for them just before they go on the truck. Also lost EID in one of these cows. It was a young cow, but it had come out, so I replaced that while I was at it. I also found a couple of empties. This one here, number 41, she wasn't scanned in calf or empty. She was sort of scanned, probably empty. I'll have to have a look what it says. And that 270, I missed her, she needs to go. So these 2 cows, I need to book them in. That is just the epitome of laziness, eh? Far out. They can just wait on here until the truck comes, which isn't too far away. It's going to be 3 trips. There's just a truck coming. We can't get a trailer down at Mike's, and it's probably just easier just to use a truck because it's only going to take 10 minutes to sort of get there. It's not a very long round trip, which means I think Marty said there would be 2 pens of 5 and a pen of 4. So that's 14, 28, and then there would just be 10 on the last load. So it's pretty easy. Won't take too long. I used some of that rod and rock the other day to make a little bit of an entrance into that paddock because it was a little bit muddy, so it was to kind of stop that. And while I was at it, I also dumped a load or a bucket load in this loading race here, and I think it looks really good now. There was a bit of a ledge up there, or a bit of a dip, probably, you know, that much that the cows would have to step up into. But now, hopefully it helps and they can just walk straight on. It's not quite as muddy. It should firm up too once it dries out a little bit. This rock was pretty wet. I think I need to put a little bit, probably like half a bucket down the bottom here to really sort it out. It's still a little bit muddy there. I think once I do that, it'll tidy this up perfectly and look really good. I was saying to Dad before that what we should probably do now is the mob that I moved, or the mob of cows that I moved before that were on the annual, I need to bring them into the yard, and they're probably going to be, or they will be finishing that paddock tomorrow, so I could bring them in and draft them up. And I'm thinking that I could go through, just like I did today, pull all the light ones off, and I'll put them in with the other group of these that aren't going away, so then we'll have sort of 2 similar size herds. There should be, well, there's about 300 cows on farm, so take away 70 heifers, that leaves 230 minus these 40, that's 190. So we really want 2 mobs of cows that are about 100 cows each. Just smaller mobs are better than having one big one. They just, I think when it turns wet, they just do so much less damage and they're sort of easier to look after. So we'll sort of even them up and that should work well.
Big stairs out of here.
It's a bit of a dodgy turn in, eh? There's only a short bit of road there. Morning, Mike.
You have to
line up for that.
Morning.
Yeah, you have to line up for that.
Yeah.
And I was saying if you could get a trailer in here, But I'd have to go across your lawn and come way over there.
Walk right round. Yeah.
Come right around. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Did say you could get 30 on if we went to the 2 pens up the top, but I didn't want to. I don't think it was worth it. And he said that like if it's only just down the road, it's just easier loading on the bottom. I have set up a brake for them just in there. They might be there. Oh yeah, they're just coming onto it now. Second load's on its way. I'm gonna let him take them down and unload them. It's pretty easy. You just open the door and they run out. Such a great improvement though. They're just walking straight on. I reckon it'll be better once this dries down. See how it's a little bit wet still? And they're just sort of digging up. But yeah, once it dries down and compacts a little bit more, it'll be ideal. I'm going to stay here, help them load these, and then I'll go down in the RAV and meet them down there, and then go and shut the gate to their paddock, have a little look, make sure they're all right. I've actually just been on the phone. I had a phone call from Fonterra. So a while back I got a downgrade, and I actually rang up and queried it. It was at the end of last month. It was a backdoe. We got I think it was a C for backdoe. It was about 60,000 on the chart, whereas normally it sits around about 4 to 6. So I rang them up, I queried it, and I've just got the results back now. And the decision was that it stands, or it's going to stand. So they haven't taken it off us because there's a few reasons. I had a look at the tanker. Nobody else on that pickup got one. The tanker had its wash or whatever, so that was sweet as. And we didn't do a hot wash after that pickup, which I'm going to say is not out of the ordinary, and it hasn't happened before. But then again, I'm also going to say that it must have been our fault. So it is what it is, and I'm happy for it to stand. But yeah, a bit of a bummer. First one in 4 years, but yeah, oh well. Such is life. Mike's let me borrow his big red to shift them when I need it. It's a bit weird on here because you usually, on the gator you go that way to go forward, which seems logical, forward, and the other way to go reverse, but it's around the wrong way on this. Pretty happy in there. I'm not sure quite how long I'll get, maybe a day. They've got a lot of grass. I'll come and check on them in the morning and see if they need moving. But I'm going to break the rest of this side up. I'm just going to fence it in half and try and get 2-day breaks. If I could get 5 days out of this side, that'd be ideal. Might take them a couple of days to get used to eating this annual, but I think they'll be alright. They have been on it at home a while back. They grazed that annual a month ago. doing? Oh, 7.2. That'll keep them in. All done, all set up for the next couple of days. The weather looks actually pretty good, so I might get 2 out of there. I'm not back fencing anything. Mike doesn't mind if I don't back fence it. He has had some calves running around on here which took like the first grazing off it, nice and light. And now it's just growing back where I'm here for the second one. There's 8.5 hectares of this annual to chew out, so hopefully they're going to be here for about 5 or 6 weeks, and then we'll just truck them back just the same as like we did today. So there's a paddock over there on the other side of the calf shed, sort of on the top of that big sort of lot of trees there. And that's the big paddock. I think there's 6 hectares over there. There's a paddock over by his house there beside the road. There is a hectare there, and then this paddock is 1.5 hectares. So I should get 10 or 12 days out of this one, and maybe another week out of the other one, and then move onto the big one. But Mike's pretty relaxed about it. He's been very good. Like that back fencing, that's pretty mean. Because there's only the one trough down the end there, it is pretty hard to back fence. And here I'd have to bring a portable trough down, and it's going uphill too, so couldn't gravity do it. He also said that if I set the brakes up in front and I can't get here, he'll happily go out and shift them for me. Like when I'm at the beach, I'm going away for a week next month, he's gonna just watch them. I'm just doing 1 round of grazing, so once they graze it, that's it. I'm not gonna go back in there again. Then he's gonna shut it up for silage in the spring, and then these paddocks will go back into maize. I wouldn't normally send cows off like this for winter grazing. It's just sort of the opportunity presented itself. Mike offered it to us, so we thought we'd try it and see how it goes. It's definitely pretty handy sending footy off and taking the pressure off. That's yeah, it's a massive benefit. It does come at a cost though, obviously, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. And it's very like handy located, so it's only probably 10 minutes from here, if that, and it's only like 1 minute past where Willie goes to school, so I can go and drop him off and then go and do it in the morning. So it's pretty handy like that. About that cow that's empty though, that 41, it says for status doubtful, so the vets weren't quite sure. They must have thought, I'm pretty sure they thought she was slipping when they tested her or pregnancy scanned her when Martha was here. And then it goes in as doubtful, but she will be empty. The unfortunate thing is though that I made a bit of a faux pas and I dry cowed her, so I gave her a bit of dry clocks, so she's got a withholding which is the 6th of June, so I can't send her off to the works until then. However, that's actually not that far away now, so I'll just wait till that day comes and then flick her then. But that'll pretty much do it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, that would be awesome. And if you came to the field day and you're watching this and you came and said g'day, it was very nice to meet you too. So see you next time.